Before we dive into today's episode, I have something truly special to share. Next September, I'll be leading an intimate women's retreat through the south of France and northern Italy, and you're invited. Picture this: mornings exploring the colorful markets of the French Riviera, afternoons sipping wine, and a hotel view with golden Mediterranean sunsets. Whether you love photography, food, or just want to reconnect with your playful creative self, this trip is designed for you. Spots are limited, so if all this sounds like your kind of adventure, please visit tourwithabsolutely.com and look for the tour France and Italy with Crystal. You can also send me a message or check out the show notes. Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. If you've ever been nervous about content creation, Instagram, YouTube, all these things we feel like we have to do but don't really want to do, this is the episode for you. I speak with Tope. She talks all about content creation and the easy way we can jump in and start today. All right, guys, I'm here with Tope, and I'm so excited to talk to her and learn about her journey, but I always like to go back to the beginning of what brought you to Paris.
Hello, hola to everybody on the podcast. Also, bonjour, because we're in France, of course. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to talk to your audience. What brought me to Paris? Oh my God, there's just so many things over the years of my life that, made me want to move to Paris. The first time was when I was 14 years old, an experience with my mom about Paris, and I told her that I wanted to move here, and she was like, well, girl, you're gonna have to be earning a lot of money to be living in a little box like a Barbie.
Oh, I like that, a Barbie.
And I just looked at her like, well, don't worry, I'll do
get
it.
there, Mom.
And then over the years, I've always like growing up in my family, my dad is a missionary, and he also is someone who gives back to the community everywhere he goes to. So we had this experience where we just moved and lived in different countries. So I really don't have roots in one place. Like being a Nigerian, I still connect with so many places and speak so many languages. So at some point, I wanted to know more about Nigeria, like just to have like roots there. So I moved there, and I actually started working with a French company, and we would come to Paris a lot. So one of those years, I volunteered for a project called Startup, and it was just when like the whole sustainability boom just kind of, came about. And while I was working in compliance then, like I've lived so many lives in different jobs, by the way. I feel like the key word for my life would be rebranding. Like I feel like I've done so many things over the years of my life. And so you can imagine working as a legal compliance person. And then I volunteered for this initiative called Startup, and it was just like a way for the company to invest in startups that were more eco-conscious, sustainable, because we knew that we had to change our practices. And while working with them, I just got so involved in the creativity part of it. Like, of course, I was more involved in compliance, but because I was working with them, I got to learn more about their marketing and everything. And it just came naturally that I would give them advice in how to put themselves out there and how to rebrand themselves, and it would work. And like literally some of them approached me and said, do you want to organize do you want to take charge of our whole branding, our whole like marketing and stuff? I'm like, well, you guys, you know that I'm actually a compliance professional. But anyway, that brought me to Paris a lot. And then I just told my boss, like, I really want to move to Paris. Can I move to the office in Paris? And he was like, sorry, we don't have anything now, but I will prioritize you in the next 3 years. I was like, 3 years? I think I can do this like in 6 months. So I started saving. I quit my job, resigned, moved to Paris. decided to do an MBA, and the rest is history. I'm here like 7 years now, living in Paris, working here as
That's
well.
fantastic. I love that. You're like, I'm not going to wait for this company to move me. I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, I think that one of the things I learned about my life is just the need, like, once I feel convinced about something, I don't think like I need to wait so long for you to give it to me. I always ask, like, one of the lessons I've had in my life is closed mouth don't get fed, especially for someone who you have a vision of your life that does not fit the traditional way of life. I just feel like you can get anything, you can do whatever you want, like regardless of all the restrictions. It might be hard, but just go for it. And yeah, I've been here
I think
since
that's
then.
great advice because I think, especially in the creative world, a lot of us are scared to even start. And how are things going to work out? Like, how do you move past those fears?
I totally feel you. You know, the funny thing is you never move past it. I feel like it's like you become a juggler. You juggle fear and then courage and then yeah, you just like juggle the both of them in both hands. And I always tell myself this. I think that's probably a way to cope because creativity, people who are in creative industry, it's all about your mental like health. Like you have to push yourself because the thing about creativity is nobody else sees your creativity. It's not like maths. Like I love maths and like I just need to tell you like, oh, we're going to do this permutation or this matrix or something. You get it. You know, you can already almost see the end result based on the working like the way we're going to solve that maths equation. But the thing with creativity is nobody can see that and nobody's going to get it. So you have to really be in your mind. So one thing I always tell myself is the fear is good. The fear is good. The fear shows that I care. The fear means that there is a future me that connects with it. And so I just need to connect the dots. So while I have my fear, I tell myself, take 1 second of courage. So I don't try to like see the end goal. And I think that's the thing that is important in creativity is like your system is important. Like if in that creativity, it means, okay, fine, I want to do this whole big stuff, but what do I need to achieve that? Okay, maybe I just need a tripod or I need us to script something. Like just create a draft and like I'm not gonna post a draft. I'm just gonna create a draft for now. And then when you create a draft, you're probably surprised. You're like, oh my God, this is cool. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna put it out and see if people like it. I think you have to just be comfortable with being afraid, comfortable with doing shitty work. Like I'm not saying you want to do shitty work, but like it might not be your best. Like my first YouTube video, I told like the first way I started was like, this is not going to be my best video yet, but I just want to put it out. And I think like having that kind of mindset kind of helps because there's nobody who's going to tell you in the creative, like even I'm sure Beyonce, who's like my God, is not going to tell you like, oh, I've got over fair. Like I think everyone's just like figuring out. So that's like the key word, I think. Just embrace it. Like really, you know, like in those superhero movies when they go like embrace the burn, let the fire, ignite you and let it take over you. I think you should just like embrace it, but like then take courage in the next second and say, okay, let me try and
Definitely.
see.
It's like that whole like fail forward. And, anytime you listen to those biographies about super famous actors or, people we admire, they all say the same thing like, I'm insecure, I'm scared all the time. So it's like, it's natural as a human being to have that fear and that we're going to make mistakes, not going to be perfect, but to just show up. And so you've built a dynamic career that bridges storytelling, branding, and travel. How do you personally define creativity?
Very good question. So, like, for me as a person, my creativity does not only begin with me doing content creation. Like, there are multifaceted parts of me. So, I work in corporate as a product comms professional and publicist. At the same time, as a content creator in my free time, because it's just something I love. And also, like, helping people to get the best and unique experiences when they travel. One of the things that fuels my creativity in all of this is what hasn't, like, first thing is joy. I remember when I wanted to start my company some years back, I actually called it a joy company. I feel like one of the things that make me know that I'm doing something right in creativity is how it brings joy to myself and someone else. Um, Secondly, is just how I solve people's everyday lives. I think one of the things that is a value in my family is service. Like my dad always says, like, oh, like we need to like want to be the person who serves people and make people happy. And my creativity, that's what fuels my creativity. So today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, like I'm always thinking like, okay, like everyone has been, when I want to travel, like everyone has been here. What is that one thing that's hidden? What's that one thing that people don't know, but it's not going to just be seeing the Eiffel Tower. It's going to be something that will bring you memories that will be so different that when you sit on a dinner table with your goddaughter or, you know, like grandchild, you talk about and they'll be like, whoa, I want to go in search of this thing because it is something that's different. And whether it's like how I tell my story, it's less about making things look super cool, but it's more about how can I connect with people who have the same experiences like me. And of course, there's so many tools that help, you know, like from Canva, from using your phone, whatever it is. And I always tell people, like, I know that everyone gives like recommendation, like this is the best tool to use and stuff. I always tell people, like, you have to be open to try all the tools. My phone is so messy because I have like so many apps I've subscribed to and used and probably dumped over time. But it's just, you never know what brings your creativity forward. And one of the things I'm happy because AI also helps with that. So I think those are the two DNA behind what makes me really creative, whether it's at work, whether it's like for my own social media or like with friends or with clients. Like that's just like that's one of the things that make me come up with things that people are like, whoa, I've never seen this experience before. Or then it makes me create something that does not exist because I'm thinking of a different way to reach out to people and just make them feel joyful.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. It all like overlaps, and talk a little bit about some of the apps that you're using today that you really recommend.
Okay, let's look at my phone as we say this. First of all, there's ChatGPT. I'm not gonna even be ashamed to say that I use ChatGPT. I know a lot of people go brand new and say, "Oh my God, like for creativity, don't use Chat." Like, no, like you have. I think one of the things that make creativity easy, especially for creatives, is when your system is taken care of. Like if your systems are not, you know, you don't have like a really seamless system, you will sometimes feel like creativity because the idea is not the creativity, it's the execution that becomes the creativity itself. So ChatGPT helps me like processes and bringing things together. Sometimes I have a flick of an idea, but I'm still trying to mirror it and I just like talk with it. I try to find out what's happening out there. It kind of synthesizes things for me. I also use Canva. So, for example, one of the things I've noticed my followers ask me a lot is, "Oh my God, is there a place where you could just give me everything about Paris, like a coffee table book?" And I've been using Canva to create that. I'm gonna put that out very soon. So, like, that's so helpful. And sometimes when I do carousels, I want that when you see my carousels on the timeline, you just know it's mine. I don't want to create things out of convenience. I want that you can see that it's mine, and it actually really, really helps to make everything seamless and simple. So Canva helps with that. There's Notion, which helps me with like all my tasks. It's crazy because with my friends and even when I'm dating, like I use Notion for us. I'm like, okay, go on Notion. I've placed the latest wish list or your birthday plan for this. Like, I'm that kind of girl. Super annoying. But yeah, it just really helps bring my mind together. There are also like editing apps like CapCut or Lightroom and Visco. These are like great for me to like do videos and all of that kind of stuff. And then even finance, because like if you are someone who sells creativity or you're creative, you can sell and make money. So it's like Revolut or like all these kind of apps that are easy to create like payment platforms for people you work with, or if you're going to pay someone for their creative job. So yeah, apart from like the popular social media apps we know, all of these apps kind of help me. I mean, there's so much more. But yeah, these are like some of the basics, and I think every content creator should be conversant with those. Like those are like platforms that you should at least have downloaded and used, and it helps your creativity. Of course, Facebook has just come out with their edits. So that also makes it easy because I noticed that they promote content that's made from edits more than other like just posting directly from the Reels upload section. So again, that's like something that also helps.
Yeah, no, that's all great advice. So many great apps, and like a lot of them are free or cheap. I mean, it's great to have these things on your phone ready to go. And I think a lot of creatives want to create content, but they don't know where to start. Do you have any other advice for like when they want to promote themselves, like where to start other than on the apps, obviously, but for coming up with ideas?
Okay, this might sound it's nothing out there or big. Your notes app is your best friend. I tell people that the best creatives in this world are people who do two things. They reuse content, one, and they are brainstorming around the clock. Because the thing about being a successful creator, and anytime I've applied this, I've noticed that my content it's not about going viral, but like I get more followers and people text me and say, oh my God, I really relate and thank you for this. Is that the pretty aesthetic stuff is so 2000 and late. Um, the content exists in your daily life. So, for example, I'll give an example. Yesterday, I always go to Pilates in the morning, and then I had my massage session, and I was going to meet up with another friend to just check out the shopping, like what's going on with the sales, right? And then we went to Printemps, and at that point, the lady was like, "Oh, we have sales," and then the sales like at YSL. So she was like, "Oh, our sales are going to start on Monday, and then it's until 28, and from 28 you have additional 25% off until the 2nd of December." And she was just like rubbing on. And I was like, "Okay, wait," and I wrote it down, and immediately was like, "That is helpful. That's content." And I bet you posting that will make so much more impact and help to people than just doing aesthetic videos and saying, "Oh, look at my YSL stuff." Like your notes app is where you're going to like script all of the things that are being solved in your everyday life. Because newsflash, everyone is having the same problem you're having. Like everyone is looking for a good deal. Everyone wants to travel. Everyone is facing weather issues, and you just probably found a hack on your way somewhere, or you found an information. Everyone needs that. And I think everyone's creatives think like, "Oh, but I think everyone already knows that." No, like maybe 2% of people know that, but not a lot of people know that. And just creating around your daily life actually makes you become a better creator because you spend less time having to plan a day to go create, but also you actually are able to easily like repurpose content and stuff. So the second thing, which is repurpose content, is I used to back in the days, like I used to like say, "Oh, I'm going to create today and that's content I'm going to post it today. And tomorrow I need to find a new content." But like being a great creator is making your page a magazine. And what happens with magazines, like if you read Forbes, you read Elle and the rest, they would repeat things. They'll talk about love yesterday, love today, love tomorrow, love next day. They'll talk about cheating every day. They'll talk about politics every day. There's no new content. Sometimes you go to Forbes and a picture that they used for Trump was used like 3 times already. Like they've reused it. And that article is booming, and those articles will still boom tomorrow. Like they'll do well. So I think like creatives should stop putting so much pressure on themselves. Like that video that you made yesterday, repurpose it and post it and put something around it. And I always say there are 3 key pillars that I see. The first thing is, what is a problem you're solving? Like nobody knows this in my industry. Like if you're in beauty, what are the things, misconceptions that people don't know? So always share something. Like if you're talking about lipstick, oh, the thing you didn't know about a lipstick when you're buying yours. Everyone wants to. I also want to know. The second thing is how people can get that thing, because you somehow have experience and access to it. And while you think that everyone knows, probably the OG people know, but we don't know. So how you can travel to this place for this amount of money, or how you can travel to this place without stress, or how you can do this without this. So everything you need to know before going to these places. And number three, relatability. People go through issues every single day. And I think the problem with content creators is they want to be perfect. And I also have that issue because I mean, I create for luxury audience. And so I'm like, oh, like luxury food, they need to be perfect. But one of the things is that luxury people look like you and I. Most of the friends that I have that are so damn rich, on their normal day, they literally look like you and I. So they don't always want to see perfection. They're happy to see things that are not perfect. So those days where you were discouraged or the days where you had issues and stuff, they want to hear about it. And those are the moments where they connect with you. Like no matter, it's actually the shameful content, the thing that you're ashamed to admit to other people, that is actually going to make you connect with your audience more. And I think the final advice I would give is your personal brand. And that's something I'm trying to incorporate now, is that it's nice to like niche yourself and say, oh, I'm a travel creator, I'm a beauty creator, or whatever. But you also want to share who you are. And that's the better creator. Like those are the people that have millions of followers. And that's something I've just learned from my mentor. She told me like, you need to show who you are. Not just like, oh, travel here, travel there, see here in Paris. But once in a while, share things that you believe in. Share your story. Like this story, how I'm talking to you about how I started till today. Those are stories that people want to hear and connect with, because there are so many people who feel like they're alone in their experiences. But then by the time they hear someone who had that, it's powerful. That's more powerful than traveling here or using this beauty product or shopping there. Those are the things that bring communities together. And I think that's like the next phase of my content. It's like to really build community beyond travel, people that relate to the stories that I've lived over time. And yeah, I think those are like the three basic things. Like if you're starting today, I would say, of course, over time, like get yourself, like stick with your phone, clean your lens, get a good tripod, and you're fine. Get a light as well, like a little light from Amazon. And then maybe next you can like level up to like Osmo Pocket 3, or like you want to get like one of those, cameras, that all the Insta girls are using to like look so fleek. Did I say flick anymore? I feel like now I'm so old. Like, but yeah, you want to look like your T, you want to clock it,
I love it.
stuff like that.
Well, what about the
But
people
yeah,
that are afraid to even show their face? Like, what about, like, there's so many people out there that are like, I want to share my work, I want to share information, but I'm afraid to get on camera.
I'm gonna give a girl a shout out on this podcast if that's okay
Sure.
with you. Her name is Esther. She's from Uganda. She created this platform called Dreams in Paris, so you can check it out. And I remember meeting her last year. I was still at 13 or 10K followers. And between then and now, she's built a community over, oh my God, I need to check. I mean, I think last time I checked was 20K. But let me see, just a second. Dreams in Paris is now at 39K, so almost 40K. She does not show her face. Like if you go on that page, you would never see her. She first started it as a faceless account, sharing information. And again, like I said, the key pillars of how to connect people remains. Like if you're sharing what helps people, how to relate with people, and making sure they don't make the same mistakes you make, you're going to grow. Forget the trending audience and forget trying to like make aesthetic content. Just make that, give people information, you will grow. And then it's recent, after a while, brands were telling her that they still want to have a face because they wanted some sort of authenticity. So what she did was she started hiring people like, freelancers who wanted to go in Paris and create content for themselves. And they would do that and she would post it and the page keeps growing and she's getting collaborations. It's just recently that she now opened a new page to build her own personal brand. So just give you an example of this. Like there's no excuse you have. You owe it to yourself. There's so many strategies, whether you're doing a faceless account, whether you're selling e-products, like you can literally just make a guide or a book about stuff that people actually need. Open a Stan account and just sell it on Stan, like, or sell it on Etsy for €5 or something. Or you want to actually offer UGC, and then you create the first 10 or first two perfect UGC videos, send it to your brand and say, hey, I'm happy to create stuff like this for you and I can license this. There's so many people who've built $1 million businesses from that. So just like, there's no excuse. You just have to step up and say, I'm ready. And the way will fall in line just right in front of you. So that's like my my motivation to anyone. I feel like I've gotten so motivated right now. But anyway.
No, but it's great information. Thank you so much. Because I hear this over and over again, and people are scared or they're unsure, or where do I even start? And like, I think this is all so helpful. And so, what's next for you? Like, what would you like people to know is on the horizon or what you're currently doing?
Oh, thank you. Well, of course, corporately to just keep growing. I feel like I'm in a year where there's a lot of change going on and I'm like moving on to my next level. But in my content creator world slash creativity, I want to, of course, release a bunch of guides on my, like, again, like create a Stan account or like an Etsy account or so, and just like help offer people guides to all the countries that I've been to. I'll start with Paris, but like I feel like there's just so much resource I can share that one reel isn't always enough. And of course, I don't expect my followers to sit down 2 hours on my page trying to connect the dots between the different, like from restaurants to activities they can do. And this, like, I feel like I owe it to them to just give it to them in a simple, nicely done coffee book or like a book with information and guides. So that's like the first thing I want to do. Second thing is I just really want to create a space for creatives in Paris. Like I feel like when I look at American market, which you're best, you have experience in, you're from there. Even the UK girls, like I feel like they have really strong communities where they bring people together. And I feel like here in Paris, it kind of feels like you're just on your own. A lot of creatives that I've met over the years always tell me the same thing. Like, first of all, they have to battle the misconception behind like people who like doing content creation and what that feels like. And then second, they just feel like they're alone and then they can't find people who have similar in their own niche, because I feel like it's still relatively new in Paris to like have like the content creator market like that big compared to in the US. You will always find someone in your niche easily on your street or, in your district. So I want to do that. I think that's like the next phase. I just want to bring people together, connect them with brands. And I feel like if I'm able to do that, it would it really fuels into what I love doing, which as a publicist is pretty much launching wonderful like brands and products that actually help people and doing that in a creative way. So yeah, that's what I want to do next. And I'm actually open to partners. So if there's anyone out there who's listening to this and wants to partner with a super little girl from nowhere in Paris to bring creatives together, whether it's like a location, a restaurant, or an event venue, or if it's even like bringing their products to showcase and help these young creatives start with something that they can use already in their portfolio. I would appreciate that. Like, I'm so open to that. And if you're creative, you're looking to start and you're not sure, come to me, like come to my page at Hey Tope, and I've got you.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely share all that in the show notes. Is there any other websites or anything else that you want people to know about?
Well, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and I've just started YouTube. For now, that's it. I had a website before, but I took that down because I'm just waiting to bring out all my products that would make more sense. So yeah, that's where you can reach me.
Fantastic. Well, we'll share all that in the show notes. And thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you. So lovely to hear more about this podcast. I didn't know it's my first time, but I also just want to say, well done, Crystal. Like you are also doing that. You're giving a platform to creatives to come together. I was listening to your show. I heard from Julie and some other creatives who are doing such an incredible work. So it's also a wonderful platform. Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.